We know how it goes when couples break up, but what happens when a friendship breaks up? Our next guest says many women struggle to forge adult female friendships and can feel left out or even dumped when that friendship doesn't hold strong. Studio 5 contributor Julie Hanks is a licensed therapist and owner of Wasatch Family Therapy. So friendship breakups, not to go too deep here, but you say this really can unearth some other issues.
You know, we tend to think that this is kind of an adolescent thing, but I can't tell you how many women have sat in my office and just sobbed because of the loss of an adult friendship. We're oriented toward relationships psychologically, and we define ourselves through our relationships so often. And so it is just painful. So I wanted to talk about this because it's just this ongoing theme that we don't really talk about.
Right.
Like, how do you deal with an adult friendship breakup?
So we're approaching it from the perspective of somebody who has kind of been on the receiving end of that break, which there's so many questions surrounding that, and it can really unearth some insecurities.
Oh, definitely, because you think, oh my goodness, like, what did I do? Is it me? What's the issue here?
Right.
And so it's really important to kind of categorize it. Like, is it a drift or a rift? Like, is it just we've grown apart, or like, did something happen that needs to be repaired or talked about?
I love that phrase, drift or rift, because the drift implying sometimes it just happens, right?
It happens all the time. And if people have different expectations of the relationship, like, oh, this is, so one person might be thinking, this is my best friend for life, like we're gonna grow old together, and the other might be thinking, well, this is a really convenient friendship for now, and we're gonna move and I'll move on. And so those expectations can be so different. But recognizing, okay, is it just a growing apart that naturally happens in friendships?
Right.
Or is this, like, did something happen that I need to really look at in myself?
It's the perfect starter question because it allows you then to choose a path, right? A drift is more a path of probably acceptance, I'm assuming, and a rift is maybe a path of repair.
Right, like looking and saying, actually having a conversation. Like, okay, you know, you've unfriended me in real life, so what, you know, I want to learn from this, so I can be a better friend.
You say if this friendship breakup actually happens, you find yourself on the receiving end, it's a great time to examine your expectations.
Right. So often, Brooke, I find that I ask this one question: when have you felt this way before? And it helps women identify maybe a deeper pain that this friendship was, they were wanting this friendship to meet.
Like what?
So a loss, or like early death of a mother. So if you have a mother loss, and you may need more from your female friends to kind of fill that void. Or if you have brothers and you've never had a sister, you may be wanting that friend to be the sister you never had. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And so that's a great way to learn about yourself and maybe what your needs are, so you don't have unrealistic expectations of a friendship, because there's no friend that's going to fill the loss of, you know, of a mother or a friend, or, you know, or a sister that you never had. So
it feels like deep therapy, but at the surface, it makes so much sense that you're using that person to fill another's void of emptiness in your life.
Right, and there's nothing wrong with that. It just puts a lot of pressure on that friendship that may actually push that person away because they can never provide that function for you.
It's very well possible the problem has nothing to do with you, and that the problem might be just a change of situation on their end.
Yeah, so this is an opportunity to develop empathy for this friend or former friend, to really think about what might be going on in their life that precipitated this shift. So sometimes people pull back when they're in pain and they don't want to talk about it, or they don't know how to deal with it. Say there's a serious marital issue going on, and this person just kind of drops off the face of the earth. You know, think about what might be going on with them that's not about me, but that I could be there to support them in any way that they're open to.
And I love how you say an opportunity to practice empathy. It might not, even examining that question, might not resurrect the friendship, it might not rekindle the connection, but it allows your mind to kind of think of things in a different way, putting their needs maybe before your own pain.
Right, or at least taking that into consideration.
Sure.
Because you want to honor your own pain, and you want to also develop empathy and be able to take someone else's perspective, because that's going to help in all all kinds of relationships.
I love this next question. What is there for me to learn? You say anything that happened, regardless of, you know, what caused the rift, there's a learning opportunity here.
Yeah, pain, unfortunately, is the best teacher. It forces us to look at things that we never want to look at. And so this is an opportunity to reflect and think, okay, wow, you know, am I not attentive enough to my friends? Do I take my friends for granted? Have I taken this person for granted? Have I been competitive, kind of in an underhanded way with them? And just reflect and learn about yourself so you can grow in the next relationship.
And the final question, what do I need for closure? And as you mentioned, women who land in your office still dealing with this girlfriend breakup, this is a really important question to consider.
Yeah, sometimes, you know, you need a good cry. Like, I'm just really sad that this isn't the relationship that it used to be. So it's a grief process of letting go of this relationship. Sometimes it might just be writing out your feelings in a letter that you do or don't give to them, venting. It may be talking with your spouse or partner. It may be having a conversation and just saying, help me understand what happened here. And sometimes it's just, you know, it just doesn't work anymore, or we're in different stages of life, or one person moved and it's just too much effort to keep up that amount of contact. But you can always, you know, you can always learn from that and learn how to let go in a healthy way. Because life is about hellos and goodbyes and how we manage those, how we connect with people and how we come apart. And so it's an opportunity to learn how to do that better.
And is there something to learn from the patterns too? If you're someone who is maybe regularly experiencing these friendship breakups, again, a lesson to learn?
Great point, yes. So if you're noticing a pattern in your friendships, you are the common denominator in those friendships. So asking yourself, okay, am I too needy? Am I expecting too much? Am I too aloof? Do people not even know that I care? Am I putting them down without knowing it? Do I constantly talk about myself and not give them enough time? So really, it's a chance to be brutally honest with yourself and to learn about your areas where you can grow and balance and kind of work on yourself.
And to the person who says, Julie, I have a healthy marriage, I have a great relationship with my kids, I don't need friends. What do you say to that person?
Oh, we all need friends. In fact, that's often a theme in therapy too, is how to strengthen those adult friendships, because they're really important. There's a different role that friends play in our life than a spouse or a child. And we've talked about this on the show before, but that your kids are not supposed to be your best friends. They are not peers. And your mom isn't a peer. Like, you need people that are on your level. Right, your stage of life. And that there's a lot of value in that. And you're also modeling for your kids and your family how to have those healthy adult friendships. My daughter, young adult daughter, she's like, oh yeah, my mom has lots of friends. She has her lunch group once a month. She has this. And I thought, oh, okay.
That's a compliment.
Like, she knows I value her, and she knows that I also have relationships that are mine.
Yeah, and meaningful. And meaningful in their own way.
And they are really meaningful. So don't diminish those adult female friendships.
This is a powerful topic, Julie. Thank you so much for bringing it to the forefront for us. And we get emails all the time, people who would like to sit on a therapy couch with you and get this one-on-one advice. It's, unfortunately, your time is limited and people's resources are limited, so you've created a women's therapy group. Yeah, so at Wasatch Family Therapy, we have a women's group going on where it's kind of an affordable option to get help and support and really connect and practice connecting with other women and learn practical skills. So it's a weekly women's therapy group. Great idea. Julie, thank you so much. Thanks, Brooke.